So on Trent, there's loads of different bits and pieces. I'm going to read you out some excerpts from an interview with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, I'm not telling you how to feel or what to think when you hear these. I'll give you my take on it, and of course I'll ask you guys what you think about it. So let's go through some of the comments from Trent. And look, credit Anfield Sector, I think it was, who put these quotes up on X. So they say, look, I've been at the club 20 years, I've signed 4 or 5 contract extensions, and none of those have been played out in the public. This one won't be either. So that's part of Trent's interview. Another comment around Trent was, is it this one? 1 second. Yeah, this one. That said, the most important thing is always trophies, if I'm honest. I want to win trophies. I'm a player who is highly motivated by trophies and winning things and being elite. That's probably the main factor. And one more comment from Trent. This time it said, even in the Milan game, we had about 20 clips to go through what I could have done better and the good parts as well. It's really refreshing to have a manager who will help and guide and teach me how to become better as a player. I'm somebody who wants to learn. For me, this is how I view the Trent contract situation, and probably Virgil and Mohamed Salah's as well. All three, to me, are making noises that they want to stay at the club. You don't talk about wanting to become captain of Liverpool Football Club if you're going to move away. So I feel, personally, that this is a, what are you waiting for? Come and get me plea to the club. And I'm going to be speaking with David Lynch tomorrow, and of course I'm going to ask David what his thoughts are on the situation. But for me, I see some people giving the players grief. The players cannot sign anything if the negotiations haven't started and they haven't been offered a deal. So I think the real question we should be asking is, when are the club going to pull the finger out? When are they going to start these proper negotiations with Trent, with Virgil and Mohamed? And stop everybody, just stop trying to be too clever about it. Stop trying to not be the first one. Stop trying to wait and see what others are getting. If everybody works together, and everybody pulls in the same direction, and everybody wants to stay at the club and have the players stay at the club, then let's get this done. No more talking about it in the media, no more, just get it done. There's no reason this should be taking so long to start these negotiations. All the three boys, in my opinion, want to stay, and it's up to the club now to make it impossible for them not to stay. Now, of course, you don't want them throwing good money after bad, but with Trent, it's a no-brainer. Danny, thank you for your super chat. Danny said, good evening, Craig. Just wanted to say I watched the watch along yesterday and seeing you describe Darwin's goal live will long live in the memory. Top bloke, keep being you. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest, Danny. I don't even remember how I celebrated Darwin's goal yesterday, mate. It was incredible. And do you know what, Danny? The more I've watched it back, the better it gets. It was, and I think Troy Deeney it was, so I want to give Troy Deeney credit. So it's the archetypal centre-forward goal, isn't it? He did everything. Goes up, wins a header he probably have no right to win. Puts it to Mohamed Salah. Mohamed, very alert, turns around, squares the ball back into the channel. Darwin bursts down the line. And even after that, you're thinking, great bit of play, but still a lot to do. And he buries it. It is just a reminder of why people still have some faith in him. Because he is capable of moments of just magic. Just absolute magic. There were also other comments from Trent. I know, mate. Look, and again, I haven't got the whole interview here, and I haven't got the transcript of the whole interview. But my understanding of what I'm seeing is 3 people in Virgil, Mohamed and Trent who certainly are open, at the very minimum, to staying at the club. And I think it's upon the club now, particularly with Trent, to make it happen. You know, you can talk about Mohamed and Virgil like we have many times, and you can talk about their age and lots of other stuff. But with Trent, here you have a local boy who clearly wants to go on to captain the club. And yes, he's going to want a big contract. There's no getting around that. And leaving it get this late has probably made that a more difficult negotiation. But there's no world in which allowing Trent to leave is going to be tolerated. There just isn't. It's just insanity if we don't give him a new deal. So I would say, if you're watching, Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, please get going, get cracking, because Trent needs... And do you know what? I'm going to give Trent his fair dues as well. Whatever we talk about with Trent's assists and goals, and he has 100 goals and assists for Liverpool Football Club combined, I think, personally, we've seen an improvement in the defensive side of Trent under Arne Slot so far. You know, the one-on-one duels that he's had in some of the games that he's had, Rafa Leao as an example in the Champions League, I thought Trent dealt with him very well. And I think Trent does deserve his credit for that. I was watching him with England as well, and I've seen some more defensive good work. Trent is trying and working to improve on that side of his game. And I guess the problem is always going to be striking the balance between Trent's attacking contributions and not leaving that space to be exploited. So I've seen improvement in Trent in that regard. So I don't know what the club may be concerned about here. You know, Trent Alexander-Arnold should be a Liverpool player, a one-club man, in my opinion. What's going on with Trent? We don't know, but I can read you out some comments. And again, these aren't all the comments from his interview, but there are comments floating around on social media. Trent said, "I've always said I want to captain the club. That's the aim of mine and a goal of mine." He also said, this is from Paul Joyce, which is interesting. Paul Joyce wrote, "A game of cat and mouse now ensues with Richard Hughes, who has inherited a situation not of his making, attempting to strike what is best for the club and the players, none of whom appear to want to leave, seeking to secure the best for themselves." I think that's fair from Paul Joyce. Certainly this isn't a situation of Richard Hughes' making. Whatever we think about the work the man has done since he's come in, fair is fair. This is a problem that was there before Richard Hughes came to the club. It is incumbent upon him now to solve it, of course, but I agree with Paul Joyce on that one. It's a problem he inherited, certainly didn't contribute towards. But now he has a chance to put it right. We have to sort it, particularly his one. You know, again, we can talk about the other two and the age and all that, but with Trent, it feels like a no-brainer. Adam, how are we? Adam Christmas said, "Alright, bro, hope you're good. What's the Trent news?" It was just basically comments from Trent saying he wants to be Liverpool captain. He wants the club to be competitive. He wants to win trophies. He wants to, build a legacy. And I just think they're positive comments personally, but it's still worrying that there seems to be no developments as of yet about contract extension there for Trent. So, what will happen with Trent is the question. I love the poll option on YouTube, by the way. It really gives us a good way of gauging how people are feeling about a subject rather than trying to read through a load of comments and figure it out. So we'll leave that one up there for you guys to vote away on. Joe Walker, good morning to you, mate, over in Australia. Said, "I'm confident Trent won't leave. Love the show, big man." Cheers, Joe. I wish I had the confidence that you do on it. I hope you're right, mate. I very much do. I can't imagine Liverpool without Trent, or I can't imagine looking at Trent in a Real Madrid shirt, I should say. Destiny Warrior, how are you? Said, "Trent is going to stay at Liverpool. Certainly all indications are that he wants to. I think all three of them, if I'm being honest, want to stay. They just need to hear the club's ambitions match theirs." Right, so we asked earlier on, with about 18 minutes ago actually, what will happen with Trent? And we gave you guys two options: a new deal or he leaves for free. And so far, actually I'm going to end it now because it's pretty one-sided. 84% of you guys feel that Trent is going to sign a new deal. And that's music to my ears because that's exactly what I want to happen. So fingers crossed that is exactly what does happen.